Out to the United States, where President Biden addressed a rowdy joint session of Congress for his State of the Union. Representatives shouted back at the president as he made the case for his unity agenda. Let's go live to our Washington correspondent, Annelise Nielsen, live now from the US Capitol. Annelise, was this an unusual display from Congress?
Look, normally during the State of the Union, it is seen as a bipartisan affair. In recent years, it has gotten more tense with opportunities for some congressmen and women wanting to make a name for themselves, calling out. You'll remember a few years ago, Nancy Pelosi sensationally tearing up the State of the Union speech from Donald Trump, which showed just how antagonistic things had gotten. But this was a particular moment in history because what we saw was Joe Biden speaking to this new Republican-controlled House of Representatives in this joint session of Congress. It's known that he needs them on board to get anything done in the next few years, and he was very conciliatory coming in, making a point of saying how he looked forward to working with Kevin McCarthy, made a quip about how being complimentary about him might do him some damage among his own base, talking about how everyone in Congress should be coming together to get the will of the people done. But there were a few moments where there was such pushback from the crowd, it almost started to look a bit more like Australian Parliament than what you normally see from Congress, and it was notable. It was something we haven't really seen before. Here's a few pieces of where it went a bit wrong for the president.
Some Republicans want Medicare and Social Security to sunset. I'm not saying it's a majority. Let me give you, anybody who doubts it, contact my office. I'll give you a copy. I'll give you a copy of the proposal. Social Security and Medicare is off the books now, right? They're not to be discussed. All right. We got unanimity. I'm not going to allow them to be taken away. Not today, not tomorrow, not ever. But apparently it's not going to be a problem. Fentanyl is killing more than 70,000 Americans a year. Big, you got it.
He made one quick reference to the issue that we'd seen with China over the last week, launching this balloon that's been floating over America. It's raised serious questions from Republicans, especially saying, why wasn't this shot down sooner? Why didn't the president use his power as commander-in-chief to take care of the issue? He said that, look, he used his power and he protected American sovereignty and that America is safer for him being president. But this is another question that harked back to his comments then again about fentanyl. He's talking about the southern border there, and that's where we saw Republicans take aim during that speech. More broadly, this was supposed to be his last address where he established himself as that presidential force before he announces that he's running again, which it's all but assumed he will be announcing he's running again in 2024. This is a rocky start for the president. He has to have Congress on board to get anything done, and now looking like he has them out of control at this point. A lot of people are going to be saying who can come in that can bring everyone together, that can move forward out of that pandemic period, which is well behind most Americans. And now look at those economic factors. He had a few figures that he was harking back to, including unemployment. But what that doesn't quite reflect is just how much people are feeling economically under the strain, even if they do have a job, even if they have multiple jobs, which many people do, and they're not leaving those jobs because they can't afford to. Other indicators show that they're under pressure. Americans have a record amount of debt on their credit cards. We're facing the debt ceiling, which could see the US economy go into default. This is a really critical time, and this could be the start of a very messy election season now that we've seen this State of the Union today.
Annelise Nielsen, live from US Capitol in Washington. Thanks so much.